What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, y'all, we are going to talk about whether or not content creators should always be entrepreneurs. We're gonna get into it, but before we get into that, this portion of the video is sponsored by Google. Now, whether you're a content creator, an entrepreneur, child, both, whatever it is that you are, I'm sure that you have a lot of logins and account information to keep track of. So I know for me to run my business, I have probably upward of 50 apps like social media, banking, emails, apps that I use to run the business. I have so many logins to keep track of. It's literally disgusting. But when I got married, y'all, let me let y'all in on a little secret. I used to be that person who used the same simple password for literally everything. Now, if you're still that person, I ain't judging you, child. It's your business. But once I got married, my husband actually is a security engineer, and he was like cringing at my password management. And so he came in and changed everything. And now I can barely remember my passwords because he's made them so difficult. But he has helped me realize the importance of my online safety and how much that means, you know, for me, for my business, and for everything that we've worked so hard to create. So it is really important to take your password seriously, because it's literally like keeping your key under the doormat. If you have weak passwords, or if you're using the same password over and over again for all of your accounts, it's like you're protecting it kind of, but you're making it very easy for somebody to access all of your possessions. So Google Passwords Manager is a great solution for that. It easily creates, securely saves, and automatically fills in the passwords for you and your online accounts. Y'all, gone is the day that we are writing our passwords on sticky notes, putting them in our desk drawer, or sticking them onto our computers, or even writing them in a notebook or a paper planner, or even writing them in our notes. You know, it is so easy for that information to be accessed by someone else. So it is important for you to keep these things secure, and that is why Google Passwords Manager is a really good solution. It's built right into Chrome, Android, and your Google account, so you have access to your passwords from everywhere, and it's using Google's very advanced security. So even if there is a third-party breach and your account is compromised in that way, Google is automatically going to alert you to change your password. This is such a lifesaver for any entrepreneur, content creator, or just anybody who has a lot of login information to keep track of. Y'all, trust me, I know how annoying it is to have to constantly come up with another strong password, and how tempting it is to use a password that you've already remembered. But it's your safety, it's your business, it's your clients or customers, it's your money that you are protecting. So Google Passwords Manager is such a great solution for that, to kind of take the guesswork out of making sure you're creating strong passwords, keeping them safe, and also the guesswork out of having to just constantly remember them or look for them if you don't know where you wrote it down. So click the link below to check out Google Passwords Manager. Thank you, Google, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now let's get into the rest of the content. Now let's get into whether or not every content creator should be an entrepreneur. Now, y'all, this may be a little bit controversial. That's fine. But I want you to know that an entrepreneur and a content creator are two different things, although they can be, people can wear both hats. So I'm not saying that content creators aren't entrepreneurs, and I'm not saying entrepreneurs aren't content creators. Of course, I'm gonna break everything down for you guys. I do wanna encourage you to check out my previous videos on what is a brand and what is a business, the difference between those two things, because there is a difference. And I feel like today, everything is starting to be so morphed together. Like, every content creator feels like they are an entrepreneur when they may actually not be. Or, you know, everyone feels like their brand is their business when the two things are actually different. So I'm trying to kind of clear up the confusion here. And I want you guys to know that although many content creators consider themselves entrepreneurs and vice versa, that they're not the same. So I did a little research just to make sure that I was also presenting you guys with the correct information, and I found a great breakdown on medium.com. So they define an entrepreneur as someone who makes a living from their business, and their bottom line is their KPI. So let me break down what this means. Bottom line is another word for their money, how much money they're making. Their bottom line is their main key performance indicator. So what a key performance indicator is something that measures the success or the growth of whatever you're trying to measure. So in this case, it would be the bottom line. So for a business, most of the time, what's showing if the business is growing is how much money the business is making. So that is what a business's main KPI is their bottom line. Now, KPIs can be used in several different ways. So for example, we hired on a community manager not too long ago. So maybe one of our KPIs is how many more membership club members have we gotten to enroll since having this community manager, or maybe how many less emails are we getting because she's doing a great job at communicating to the members. These are different KPIs that you can set for different roles, or different things in the company that you want to measure to make sure that you are staying on track to hit certain numbers. So for an entrepreneur, they are making a living from their business, and their main KPI, key performance indicator, is the bottom line or the revenue. And on top of that, their product or service is their business, okay? So their product is their company, and they seek to provide value to their target customer, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, a content creator make a living creating content, and their main KPI is engagement. So again, this definition is from medium.com. I'm just trying to break it down for you guys because I feel like they had the best distinctions for these two separate things, content creator versus entrepreneur. So their main key performance indicator is engagement. This could look like how many followers am I growing on a weekly or monthly or even daily basis. How many, what percentage of engagement am I seeing? Maybe you have a certain number of subscribers and you're getting a certain number of views, or how is my watch time increasing, or how is my I don't know, my engagement in likes and comments increasing. So their main KPI is engagement, and their product is their platform. So this could be your blog, your Instagram account, your YouTube channel. That is considered your product if you're a content creator. They seek to serve their target audience, not necessarily their target customer as an entrepreneur would. Now, y'all, again, it can all kind of come together, and that's pretty much what I am. I consider myself a content creator and an entrepreneur because I do offer products and services that are able to, kind of be available if something ever happened to me. And that's kind of what I like to think of a true business. Like if something happened to me, if something happened to Kim Kardashian, she still has Skims, she still got her KKW, she still got all these different things. Kylie Jenner still has her lip kits, Tabitha Brown still has her book, she still has Donna's recipe. So although I would consider myself a content creator, and yes, I do have, KPIs of, engagement and growth, I also have KPIs of, my target audience, how many sales are we getting, how many members are we growing, things of that nature. So there is a difference. Now, of course, you can be both, but you don't have to be both. And I want to let you guys know that just because you have a strong audience, a very engaged audience, maybe you are an influencer and you're loving working with brands, and you are loving getting paid from ads on your YouTube channel, and you're making money in that way, I consider that to be a paid personal brand. I feel like that's not necessarily a business in a traditional sense. Now, if you want to call it a business, that's on you, that's fine. But in terms of the actual definition of what a business is, you're essentially like kind of like a content freelancer. Like, you are taking on contracts, you're marketing for companies more on their terms, in terms of, you know, this is the things that they want you to say, these are the things that they want you to maybe do, or they're creating it under their umbrella, on their timeline, with their contracts. So I look at paid content creators or paid influencers kind of like you're a paid personal brand, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you could be making, you could have a higher bottom line than an actual business who's selling a product or service. So I don't think that every content creator is an entrepreneur, and I don't think that the skills that it takes to be a successful entrepreneur necessarily are the exact same skills that it takes to run a successful company. So I have a client who I talk about all the time. She's literally my only one-on-one client right now, but she has several businesses. I mean, like several 7-figure, 8-figure businesses that she runs, and she has never done social media until the last couple of years, which those businesses were already up and running, and her social media has nothing to do with those businesses. So she is a through and through entrepreneur who is now starting to trickle into creating content. But she's like, I just, you know, creating a business was so, like, starting businesses is so easy for me. It comes so naturally to me. But content creation, like having this YouTube channel, is the hardest thing that I have ever done. She literally told me that. She's like, I don't know how you do it. I'm not comfortable speaking on camera. I hate taking pictures. I don't really be knowing what to say to my target audience. I don't even know how to create really a target audience or who I should be targeting. Like, getting engagement is tough. Like, it's just a whole different set of skills. Telling stories and creating content in a way that's captivating to a certain group of people, and really building an audience is a different set of skills than it takes to run a company. So again, if you guys didn't see my previous videos on the difference between a brand and a business, I'm linking those in the description, because that fleshes out a lot of those differences in what actually is a brand and what actually is a business, which I think could help put some of what I'm saying into better context. It is smart, if you are a content creator, to start a business out of that. And I do think it's smart, if you're an entrepreneur, to create content around your business. A lot of content creators look at what other content creators are doing, and they feel as though ads and brand deals are the only way that you can make money when you are, you know, when you have some level of audience, some level of an audience or influence. And I really want to just break that and shatter that myth that those are the only ways that you can provide, you know, for yourself, or, you know, create a source of income from creating content. This is where the two start to morph, is that when you realize the influence that you do have, and the fact that, you know, brand deals are selling other companies' products, that is when you realize that I can sell my own products. I can create my own services. I can do, you know, I can expand this beyond just me. And that's why I consider influencers who make their income only from brand deals and paid advertising almost as like paid content creators, like not necessarily entrepreneurs, because you're still at the will of another brand's budget, another brand's timeline, another brand's contract, another, you know, and your income is really hard to measure. And it can be hard for entrepreneurs to measure it too, but you are in control, and you have the systems, you have maybe the team, you have the back end that you've created to streamline the process of sales. So there is, I probably said difference like 75 times in this video, but I want many content creators to know that when you start your own, if you can sell someone else's product, you can sell your own. And that is where the entrepreneurship piece comes in. Now, if you are totally fine with brand deals, getting you know, paid from ads, and your personal self being the brand through and through, and that is how you make all of your money, then that is fine. I am not trying to knock that as a reasonable way to make money and make a living, but I do encourage all content creators that if you want to diversify your income and have longevity, I would recommend looking into starting a business, a product, a service that your audience is interested in, that they look to you as. If you are a mom and you have a channel about mom life and you have a daughter who, you know, you're like always with, why not start a little like mother-daughter hairline, or like a mother-daughter dress up line, where, you know, you're capitalizing off of the audience of moms who probably have daughters who watch you already. So I want content creators to start thinking more outside of the box. And if you have a small audience, you are still able to make money off of them if you decide to transition or translate some of that into a business, into entrepreneurship and creating your own products or services. So I want to kind of wrap up in saying that a lot of content creators get really caught up in the look of their brand, that I want to push you, if you are looking to start a business from the content that you are creating, push yourself to learn a new skill, to do more research on businesses, to do more research on how to evolve your content into a fully functioning business. I want to challenge content creators to think outside of the box. How can your skills or your content creation be pushed beyond yourself? And when I say that, I mean, like, you know, I always use the example of the top 3, but that was just such a great way for me to see that, you know, I was getting a lot of people also doing the top 3 method once I started introducing it into my vlogs. And then that like my entrepreneur mindset kicked in and said, girl, you could do something with this. And that's when we decided to create that product, and it has brought so much money into our business, and it honestly has become a huge part of my brand. And I just think about how much money we would have left on the table if I wasn't in that entrepreneur problem solving mindset of thinking, okay, we can do something with this. There's clearly a demand. I built this audience. They seem very engaged with this thing. Instead of me continuously writing it on a whiteboard, let's create a product out of it. And that's when, as a creator, you begin thinking like an entrepreneur or a CEO or whatever you want to call it. That's when you know that you are living with both of those hats on. When you can look at something and you take that target audience that you're thinking about, but they are also doubling as your target customers that transition from an, you know, a content creator's KPI to a entrepreneur's KPI. So that is what I wanted to, you know, just really ask you guys. And I really am excited to start a conversation about this in the comments, because, you know, I just want people to push themselves. And if you are fine, like I said, with whatever it is that you're doing, that's fine. But a lot of us are leaving so much money on the table by putting ourselves in this box. And that goes for entrepreneurs as well. Like, my client is seeing a lot of success, you know, pouring into her new business as she's branching into content creation with her book sales, things of that nature. So there are ways that each of them can build on to the other. And I want you to answer this question in the comments below. Do you feel, if you're a content creator, that you are doing what you can to open that door for entrepreneurship? And y'all, I have my Creator to CEO course coming soon. So if you are a content creator who wants to push yourself beyond creating content and into the realm of entrepreneurship, y'all, this course is for you. It is my Creator to CEO course. I'm so excited to launch it, and we are going to have a wait list available. So I will leave all of that information in the description box below. And let's answer the question. If you are a content creator right now, do you feel the need to transition into entrepreneurship with a product or service? Or are you content with getting brand deals, getting paid for ads, and kind of keeping it at that, honey? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I want to know that in the comments below. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it wasn't too all over the place. But I love y'all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.